And thanks again for viewing on the third video, or the third and final video of today's article. We're looking again at Mono Green Aggro, and this matchup is, to me, the first one of its type that I have seen in the short period of time that I've played Pauper. My opponent is playing a blue-white-black Storm deck. Those aren't the colors you typically think when one is going to be playing Storm. You tend to think of a lot of rituals and giant grape shots or empty the warrens, but this deck plays stuff like Nightscape and Sunscape Familiar from Plane Shift, which reduces the cost of his blue spells, and plays stuff like Snap and Cloud of Fairies from the Urza Saga blocks. And what this does is the Cloud of Fairies will untap 2 lands when it comes into play. So right now each cloud costs 1 blue apiece with the Nightscape Familiar, and he's going to keep doing stuff like that to generate a storm count to play Temporal Fissure to return pretty much everything in my hand. I feel like the deck's pretty unique. It's probably been along for a long while and I just never saw it. But it's not something that I expected to ever play against in a Pauper match, if that makes any sense at all. The combo decks I expect are stuff like Infect or the aforementioned Empty the Warren Storm with Goblin Bushwhacker backup, not giant Temporal Fissure based Storm decks. But if I have no board, I can't win the match, and he can just win at his leisure. And I believe this is the turn where he does a lot of really crazy stuff. Cast Snap, brings back Cloud of Fairies, untaps 4 lands off that, nets a ton of mana to cast a cloud, or cast a Mauldrifter, gets another Cloud, untaps the 2 original Ravnica Karu lands, uses Farsi to find more stuff, gets Cloud of Fairies back in, and I'm hoping, at this point of the game, I know that the Temporal Fissure is going to come, but I'm hoping that the Vines of Astwood I have will protect my Pit Skulks, because this one actually gets to attack for 3. This one I'm going to need to pump to where the Mauldrifter doesn't block, but if I get, that turn to where I can maybe play land, Ground Seal, I can actually steal this game. And he takes a fairly long turn here with the Mnemonic Wall and Ghostly Flicker. Basically, each repetition of casting Ghostly Flicker, he gets to flicker the Mnemonic Wall and a Cloud of Fairies. The Mnemonic Wall will, of course, get the Ghostly Flicker back, and the Cloud of Fairies will allow him to gain. The Ghostly Flicker cost 1 blue because of the 2 familiars, so he's gaining 3 mana a repetition. If he had an X spell in the deck, it'd be fairly easy to kill me going through those repetitions. But any of the lists that I've seen for this deck, I've never actually seen an X spell in it. The duress there shows that I have no pump spells in my hand. And of course, during my turn, he has Snap to answer my Pit Skulks. There's no way I'm getting back into this game. And with that said, I cast another dude for absolutely no reason at all and watch him beat me to death. So that was what I thought was a fairly unique game. Let's go ahead and finish out the match. I'm not entirely sure what I sideboarded in, if anything. I may have brought in Hornet Stings to deal with the Black Familiar, but I really can't imagine doing that, and I'm not entirely sure that this replay is going to play. Actually, let's go ahead and end it with that. Y'all saw me lose. I lost the match, but ended up going 3-1 in the daily event that this actually happened in. But Moto is not cooperating with me tonight, and I'll blame my internet for that. So thanks again for watching. Next week we'll have a different look at a Pauper deck. We'll probably be looking at some kind of Cloud Post deck, because oh, and there comes the replay. We're going NOC as recap speed there for a second. But anyways, we'll be looking at a Cloud Post deck, probably either Simic Post or a 4-color. It's basically Simic Post with Torch in it and Crop Rotation to be able to actually get a lot of Locust into play. We'll go ahead and let this match finish out, but it already doesn't look good for me. Standard Bearer is actually really good against this deck because my pump spells have to target Standard Bearer. Prismatic Strands was a bit of a blowout that I wasn't expecting. Hey, there goes my board. Make a couple of blockers. I'm leaving the Basking Rootwalla back just in case. And with the Archaeomancer, I know he's going to bring back the Temporal Fissure. I don't feel the need to play the match anymore. And like I said, I've pretty much already signed off of this little video anyway. So next week we'll be looking at a Cloud Post deck. Thanks for viewing this week, and y'all enjoy the rest of the week's content on puremtgo.com. Thanks for watching.